Right away, you would know that you were in the hard module if you got this question. These are hard words, but a lot of the questions that involve hard vocabulary words in the choices are really just about knowing the definitions of those words. There isn't some other element. If you know them, only one makes sense. And I think that's the case here. So let's take a look at the passage. The way in which individual elements are balanced within a photographic image tends to affect how viewers perceive it. Symmetry tends to give the elements equal importance, asymmetry emphasizes differences, and radial balance, organizing the elements around a central point, emphasizes the center over the periphery. What a photograph conveys is therefore largely blank how it is balanced. Now they're repeating themselves. There's a lot of examples in the middle there, but they're saying that the way the elements are balanced within a photograph tends to affect how it's perceived. So what a photograph conveys, what we perceive from the photograph, is largely blank how it is balanced. Well, how about just something like affected by, right? Let's just steal that. Affected by. So obviously that's not the answer because there's a bunch of harder words here, but if we know these definitions, the answer should be obvious. The correct answer here is B. Contingent on means something more like dependent on. Contingencies are different kinds of possibilities, different paths, and so if it's contingent on how it is balanced, it is dependent upon it. So to me, someone who knows that word, that's just the obvious answer. None of these others even make sense. If something is inhibited, inhibited means something like held back. We also should be familiar with the opposite of that word, uninhibited. If you're uninhibited, you're not held back. You're just saying whatever's on your mind, right? So it doesn't really make sense here that the photograph is held back by how it is balanced. The whole point is that they work together, not that something is getting in the way of something else. I honestly don't even think that choice makes any remote sense here. I'm stretching it just to make some sense out of it. Now, C, obligate, you should know what obligate means. If you're obligated to something, honestly, I don't even know how this would make sense here either. Obligated is kind of like you're almost like required in some way to do something. You're obligated to do it. And reserved means kind of like saved for. But again, this just doesn't make sense. So this is a clear case to me where if you study vocabulary words, you get comfortable with definitions. Sometimes the ones that are hard for other people who don't know those words are going to be really, really easy for you. This is a question that I think either way needs to take at most 30 or 40 seconds because you either know it and it's easy or you don't know it and there's not much you can do. Pick your favorite answer and move on.